Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Play It Painted Live. Time for another live stream. Like, way too many. Too many. Calm down, guy. I say to myself. Yeah, I'm gonna, I don't know. I was planning on just throwing the camera on tonight, and I wanted to just do a little airbrushing, nothing too big, and get you guys kind of caught up on what's going on. But before we start there, let me go ahead and open up our comments here. Alrighty, so this is going to be another short one. Short ones are cool. But I'll get to what we're painting in a second. Let me get you caught up. I was just at watching Dizzy Angel Demon's her live stream, which is actually still going on right now. So definitely go check that out. But right now, like, you guys might be tuning in thinking I'm going to work on this. And no, I'm not going to work on this. But this is Emma Frost. I painted her the other night and then repainted her. Did some repaint on her last night. And she's looking pretty good. You can see I kind of got her back to where I wanted her. And so I'm, while I still think there's some minor stuff to do on her, you can see she's pretty much done. Super fun miniature. I don't know why I spent so much time on her. I just wanted her to look right for me, because that was for me. And so tonight we're going to kind of change gears a little bit, and we're going to work on some miniatures that, frankly, I feel a little conflicted about showing you guys, because I need to be clear here. I don't support this company. I did not have a good time with their Kickstarter, but I want to paint the miniatures nonetheless. I think they're good, cool looking minis, and we're just going to see how it goes. Okay, so these guys are from a game called Dragon Tides that was launched on Kickstarter about a year ago. It's not the company that made these miniatures, maybe not the best company, and I was warned going in when I backed the Kickstarter that these guys may not be the most ideal gaming company, but nonetheless, they're on my desk. Well, they're on my shelf, so I'm gonna paint them, and then we're gonna, judgment aside, just kind of technically look at these minis. Okay, so tonight we're gonna do a lot of airbrush work on them. At least that's the plan. Do a lot of airbrush work tonight. And I'm going to work on 4 of the minis. I'll work on the other 4 later. So if you're just tuning in, welcome to Play It Painted Live. Let us know what you're painting or what you should be painting. Tonight's topic, Kung Fu miniatures, and no, they're not by Atomico Press. I wish they were. I wish they were, because I like Atomico Press, and you should support Atomico Press. These are made by another company that, once again, I'm not the biggest fan of, but, we're going to paint them, because I've never seen them painted before. I've never seen, other than the images they presented at the Kickstarter, I've never seen painted examples of these miniatures. Oh, hey, what's up, Kazi Win Guy? Thank you for opening up a second tab. I hope you still have Dizzy's feed still open, because we are going to be rocking and rolling here on these minis. Whoa. So, yeah, we're just going to do some priming, some airbrushing. We'll see how far we can get into. Hey, what's up, Dave? Welcome to the feed, gentlemen. But yeah, like I said, I'm painting these miniatures, but I in no way support this company that made these. Okay, so we're just gonna paint them, because that's what we do. It's on my desk. I played the game once, didn't have the best impression of it, and I want to play it again, but I want to play it with actual painted miniatures, right? Because that's what I do. And that's the whole reason why I backed this Kickstarter to begin with, was to get the painted miniatures. My concern is I don't think we'll ever get what we were promised. Like, I don't think we'll ever get all the stretch goals and all that stuff that was promised to us. Those of us that did back this Kickstarter. Look at this guy. This is a Dolph Lundgren type character. It was such a cool premise for a game too, right? This is a cooperative board game that features legendary martial artists. Okay, like that. So I'm in. They have an official Bruce Lee and a Brandon Lee sculpt, and I was in. And I backed the Kickstarter, and they said, and my friends of mine that are a little more involved in the miniature gaming world said, "Hey, dude, be careful with this company. They've done some shady things with their Kickstarters." And I was like, "Okay, I value your warning, and I know you're probably in the right and you're coming from the right place, but this is Bruce Lee, damn it! I need a Bruce Lee miniature." So I did the dumb thing and I backed it. Backed the Kickstarter. And it was, but frankly, I was pretty realistic about it. I was like, well, this is my $100 gone. It's $100 bet that I might get some Bruce Lee miniatures out of this game. And I did get, we did get 8 miniatures, but we were promised so much more. And that's the part that's upsetting was, this is an example of of getting taken by Kickstarter. When you I backed about 2 or 3 projects on Kickstarter that did not pan out, and that's the risk that you take when you back on Kickstarter. And a lot of people rip on Cool Mini or established companies that frankly don't need to do Kickstarters, but at the very least, whether you agree with it or not, Cool Mini they're gonna deliver eventually on their promise. They're gonna deliver. They're not the thing about Kickstarter is, yes, it gives independent guys, little guys, the chance to create something, to get crowdfunded and actually, take people with good ideas and get them the resources they need to complete their ideas. And I absolutely love that idea. The problem is that you're going to occasionally run into companies like this company, again, shall not be named, that do some shady stuff with their Kickstarter money. There's a Steamforged Games, today launched their Resident Evil 2 Kickstarter, and I was in like Flynn. And yeah, Steamforged Games is an established company. They have 2 hit games right now. They have Guild Ball, which I absolutely adore, one of my favorite games of all time, and they have the Dark Souls board game, which I need to get because I want to paint the minis. They launched Resident Evil 2 Kickstarter. And Steamforged Games, do they need to do a Kickstarter? No, probably not. I mean, they have the resources. They could put the game out. But they're a smaller company than, say, Simon. But what it allows them to do, a company that, yes, has resources and, yes, can publish a game, but the crowdfunding is going to allow them to publish a lot more than they originally could. And it would actually give them a good market base, I should say, an established market base to work with. So, yes, definitely a rock and a hard place. I had to get a Bruce Lee mini, man. I don't know, I had to. We all got our things. If it was a The Last Dragon with Shogun of Harlem and Bruce Leroy, I would pay cash money to get that. You know what I mean? do a little. There we go. A little Zenithal Prime there. That was a lot of Zenithal Prime, but maybe more than I needed to do. But that's okay. Guy's just gonna not have as many shadows as the other guys. It's okay. All right. So I have two minds about this. Like, I love these minis. They're cool. You know, I really like the theme of them. I like that they're supposed to be you know, recognizable martial arts action stars. But and it's part of the reason why I sat on this project for so long. It's like I want to stream painting it, but I don't want to give this company like advertising. I just don't support this company. Like, they did not do good things, and they did not make good on their promises. But I want to paint these guys nonetheless. And I want to play the game because I paid for a game. But at the end of the day, I paid for a game, and I want to try it out. And if it's if I enjoy playing it, I'll play it. But I just would not encourage anybody to go out and buy a copy of the game. I don't think this company deserves your loyalty any more than it deserves me giving the miniatures some paint jobs. But again, I don't know. I'm just trying to be totally transparent with you guys. Like, yeah, I don't like these guys, but we're gonna paint it because why not? I mean, they have Bolo. Like, this is a Bolo miniature. Like, where am I gonna get that? Where else am I gonna get a Bolo miniature? Do I want a Bolo miniature? Hell yeah, I want a Bolo miniature. The quality of the sculpts, they're okay. They're just okay. I thought they would be a lot better based on the renders. And you can see they're actually based on pretty good renders, but the quality isn't quite what I'd hoped for. I mean, there's still a little bit of flash. There's some detail that could be better on these. Some seam lines. But I mean, it's still Bolo, okay? Yeah, it's the Kickstarter game that you know what, Albert, it did okay. It hit its goal. But the main point was that the creators, the Kickstarter creators, kind of took this money and funded the previous project with that. They took the money that we paid them for this game, to push it over the top and to push into some stretch goals, because we were supposed to get a bunch of thugs and all kinds of like extra unlocked characters. I think there was even I want to say there was even a Candy and Cola miniature version that was supposed to come out as part of this game. And this company took that money and funded the previous game because they had a bunch of unfulfilled promises from the previous Kickstarter. And you had I guess we're seeing it again too with Palladium Books. Oh, nice, because it's always a good business model. Right, exactly. Like, that is some serious shady shit to get into, right? Like, here's your, I mean, they gave us the core game. Like, we got the core game with 8 miniatures. But like I was saying, it's supposed to be something like, supposed to be more like 25 miniatures we were supposed to get for our pledge because of all the thug miniatures. We didn't get any thug miniatures in the base game. We didn't get unlocked exclusives and all those other minis that we were supposed to get. And so this is what we got. I think this guy is the Donnie Yen character. Wait, no, I forget which guy. Yeah, this guy is the Donnie Yen character. So this is like an Ip Man type character. And then this is more of like the Jackie Chan, like old school Jackie Chan, like drunken Jackie Chan. Well, maybe with their next game you'll get the rest. Like I don't even get updates from these guys anymore on Kickstarter. They're like, cat's out of the bag. Who knows where these guys are at, They may be in Mexico with like a pile of cocaine in front of them. We don't know. Dizzy's done for tonight. Oh, she's tired. They do look cool. They do like, so conflicted. That's Bolo. And I got Bruce Lee and Brandon Lee, and there's a Cynthia Rothrock. So the other set, the 4 that I'm not painting right now, are actually the better 4, because when I paint sets like this, I usually do the less interesting guys, and then I'll move over to the more interesting guys. That way I have incentive to finish, you know what I mean? If I only painted the Bruce and Brandon Lee miniature, or if I painted them first, then I would just not, I really wouldn't have much incentive to continue. I'd be like, okay, I don't really need a Jackie Chan or an Ip Man. Well, what am I saying? Of course I need an Ip Man. Of course we need an Ip Man. The hell am I talking about? Yeah. Did it come with a Chuck? No, it did not. It did not come with a Chuck. I don't think they could afford the rights to Chuck Norris. I mean, somehow they got the rights to an officially licensed Bruce and Brandon Lee miniature, but not a Chuck. So I don't know. I don't know what that even. I don't know what getting a Chuck Norris miniature, probably way too powerful to sculpt. You know what I mean? It's probably, the internet would break or something if we tried to put out a Chuck Norris miniature. I don't know. Maybe. All right. So let's. So we're gonna work on some Asian skin, people. So this will be interesting. Let me clean the 0.2 airbrush. Okay, Ip Man is king. Without him, there is no Bruce Lee. A fair point, sir. I don't know what I was saying. It was like borderline blasphemy. I don't know. Maybe they were going to pull my Asian card. Who knows? But luckily, I still sing karaoke and eat rice and gamble, right? I got the big 3 down, so I get to keep my card. At least you got some. This one Kickstarter, I'm still waiting for my items. I still get random updates. Like he just got divorced and hasn't made any money. Oh boy. I got one of those too, though. I'm backing one of those projects as well. It's like, and then my dog died, and you get like these updates, and you're like, man, I feel like I'm being punished for backing this poor guy, because I'm getting the saddest story ever and not my miniatures. So I'm getting hit on both ends, And like, my dog died, and my wife left me, and this is terrible. Just take the money and run. Yeah, there's some projects that I backed, and I'm like, a little shady. Let's go in a little good faith. Let's give this guy the benefit of the doubt. And yeah, it doesn't. I mean, there are some companies that are spectacular at delivering on Kickstarters that I would recommend to anybody. For example, if Table War or Frontline Gaming, if they do a Kickstarter, back that Kickstarter. Okay, I will tell you. I'm saying right now, they are 100% delivery, 100% on time, and they're excellent quality. Excellent quality. Now, they don't make games, unfortunately, but they make the fat mats. They make the that photography backer that you guys see on my social media. They make the Table War cases. If you guys like those style of cases, I like those style of cases. They're not so practical for me. But what I'm saying is that's a company that absolutely has 100% integrity. And so always, if you're on the fence with them, always back. I heard Proto still hasn't sent all their backer AVP stuff. Yeah. See, I'm saying, like, you got to be careful, man. There's just stuff like that out there. But yeah, I don't know. Kickstarter is just a mixed bag. Oh, hey Nelson, did you jump? I'm assuming you jumped on that Resident Evil 2, dude. We missed the early bird. Sucks, but did you jump in on it? You're in on it, right? I'm assuming. Because I went in on that. Now, if Resident Evil 2 had a Bruce Leroy miniature, I'm in. Well, I'm in anyway, but you know what I mean. What I'm saying ultimately is there needs to be a Bruce Leroy miniature and there needs to be a Shogun of Harlem miniature. And I was hoping that this game would have been the game to bring that all to light so that we would all know how important it would be to have Bruce Lee. Bruce Leroy, we could have had Egg Shen. We could have had so many cool, like, there needs to be more Kung Fu miniature games. Just full stop. There's a Fistful of Kung Fu, which is an awesome game, and I hope to play it at some point. And that's probably what I'm going to use these miniatures for. It's for Fistful of Kung Fu. But yeah, whoa there, calm down. I might have overthinned. Yeah, I definitely overthinned this paint. It's okay. There's no difference between early bird other than it costs £5 less. Yeah, it's true. But I still wanted my £5 savings. I also like that. I like those Kickstarters that really only have one pledge. I like those a lot. Just like, I'm either in or I'm not in. You know what I mean? Just do that. I don't need, oh, well, here's a thank you from the team. Here's a picture of some people that you don't care about. If you like pledge, like, it's some random pledge. Like, if you pledge $8, we'll send you a postcard of us at the beach. Like, we don't care. We're either in for miniatures or we're not in for miniatures. I mean, flat out. Women love it when you lose £5. For real. I could lose £5. Yeah, this is not. I think I got the wrong color in here. That's just way too. I mean, I can work with it. I'll just build it up, I guess. We'll build up the color. Dolph Lundgren, you're going to be. No, I'm not. I can't use the Asian color on Dolph Lundgren. So in case none of you end up playing with me, I can play by myself. We will play with you, Nelson. Don't worry. I wanted my own copy because I'm a huge fan of RE2. And the Leon miniature is freaking awesome looking. But I always played Claire. I don't know. Are the other two characters? They're not in Resident Evil 2, are they? They're actually later in the series. Still trying to work that one out. You guys can kind of see where I'm going though with this Asian skin, right? Yeah, and you get alt. Yeah, the Legend of Korra game looks kind of cool. I just got to pick like my games to back. Oh, here's another game that I backed that I'm waiting on. Way of the Fighter from Ninja Division. That's coming out. You know, we would probably have the game in hand in about a month or so. The problem is they're not done with the miniatures. So we get the card game, because it is a card game, and then they decided to make miniatures for it. And that's really when the Kickstarter kind of exploded, was like, oh, they're going to make miniatures for it. I want miniatures. And a lot of people backed the game just for the miniatures. So, yeah, you get that. Check out Dolph Lundgren. See, like this guy too, we could even use him in Batman. Like he could be an alt McCloud miniature. You could use him as a Juggalo clown if you want. You know, any guy that has the big hunting knife, he would be. You could do that for you could do that for Batman. I'm getting SDE from that game. What? Oh, okay. Trying to follow along. But yeah, I don't know. This game should have been super cool. It should have been super cool, and all my cool streams of playing games with Diz should have been us playing Kung Fu game. Or my streams with anybody playing board games. It should be like Diz should be my go-to game. It's a Kung Fu game. And it just breaks my heart. I can't even deal. Oh, you're getting the SDE Way of the Fighter guys. Oh, cool. Okay. Way of the Fighter does look cool. It does look like a cool game. If I don't like the game itself, then I have more miniatures for a Fistful of Kung Fu. We gotta play, dude. We gotta play Fistful of Kung Fu, because between these miniatures and Wild in the Streets and Way of the Fighter, I'm gonna have enough miniatures to just make a bunch of really cool war bands for Fistful of Kung Fu. Look at Dolph Lundgren. Dolph Lundgren must break you. Ooh, that sucks. Look at that giant gap there. Look at that. That is awful. That's what I was saying. Like the 3D renders looked really cool, but you can see there's some issues with like the miniature quality and that kind of stuff. Oh, you know what? I need to do something. Well, hold on. Let's hold on one sec, guys. Uh-oh. Hard to navigate my computer here with my gloves on. We're doing it. Okay. Okay, back to it. It's a little Dolph Lundgren action here. Albert, miss playing game with you, man. Let's play Batman all together, and we should, man. Well, Nelson, I told you that Don he picked up a organized play pack for Batman, and you know, if we wanted to run a tournament or something at Comic Quest, that we should totally use that. So, you know, it doesn't matter who runs the actual tournament, as long as I think it's best if it's a date that we can both do, because between the two of us, we could furnish all the tables. and so we'll have enough tables for everybody. Okay, so there's that. Wow, got like no. A little more Dolph Lundgren. So we're just doing some basic color blocking stuff right now. Yeah, I don't know when we want to do this because October is kind of a rough month for me to do public events because of my boys' birthdays. It's actually both my son's birthdays. I should point that out. Sunday is my youngest, his first birthday, and then my 3-year-old turns 4 on the 11th. But we're gonna kind of celebrate this at the same time. Anyway, yeah, October's kind of bad for this kind of stuff for me, but we do have a scheduled paint day on the 21st, and then Extra Life is November 7th. That's a Saturday. So we were planning. Spencer's also working on Extra Life, so he's going to be doing Infinity that day. I'm going to be doing Guild Ball and Batman. So so plenty of cool shit for us to do. Let's see. Let's try to figure out what types of outfits are two. We got 2 guys in like more traditional kung fu garb. So I think I want to do Ip Man in more of a blue, like a blue-gray color, and he's going to be in more of a classic gray. Yeah, we could totally do November and do like an organized play. You know, at one point we were thinking maybe Donovan should run the tournament, but I think that's a little bit of a conflict because he's kind of the sidekick operating out of Game Empire San Diego. So maybe that's a bit of a stretch to see if he will, to try to get him to do something like that. I think, but who knows? I mean, he did say, well, I'm kind of interested in an organized play pack. So I don't know. I can't find my blue color. This is a cool blue. That's way too bright. We got to go like these traditional Chinese outfits that are not. They're they're somewhat more subdued colors. Well, that's probably a good color. Let's use that. Let's use this. Okay. But yeah, we can do November. That'd be cool. So we'll do a little bit of this darker blue. Boop, boop, boop. And then I gotta back out a little bit. I guess Dolph Lundgren can also have this color as well. So really just kind of gradually build this color up. Man, Ip Man is kind of dope. Damn this game for having cool property, cool IP. My first impression playing the game were not very good, but then again, I didn't have painted minis, and everything's better with painted minis, so. From what I remember of it, each character has their own unique combat style and unique abilities that they can do in combat. Check out that cool dragon crest he's got on his back. Pretty awesome. Look at him go, man. Everybody loves the Ip Man. Pretty awesome. This is kind of a good general color, actually, this intermediate blue. I mean, you could even color block the hair when we're so inclined. Looky. What's up? Is it racist for me to make those sounds? What's up? I don't care. I think it's awesome. Okay. That mini's too badass. The ground stamp says tiger. Oh, seriously? Oh, shit. Yeah. Actually, I'll paint the base a different color. And then my man Bolo Young, dude. I love Bolo so much. Bolo Young had his own. Oh, hey, what's up, Diz? Bolo had his own feature film. I think it was called Chinese Samson or something like that, and it was freaking amazing. And who could forget him as Tong? What's his name from Bloodsport? Tong Vu or whatever. Totally racist for me to make the sounds. What's wrong? I would see. I did it again. I must now apologize to the perpetually offended for making kung fu sounds. Dude, Bolo is so dope. You should have included that guy from Mortal Kombat. Finish him. Which guy from Mortal Kombat? Please don't say Johnny Cage. Although, I don't know. You can say whoever you want. They had Johnny Cage in this game. Or sorry, Liu Kang or if they had Raiden, it would have to be a Christopher Lambert sculpt. Because everybody knows you got to have a Christopher Lambert sculpt. I will just say Christopher Lambert, he was the original weeaboo, all right? Like he was the OG weeaboo. He wanted to be Asian so bad that like all of his 90s, 80s and 90s roles. Even Highlander, still a little, you can see the first inklings of it. Christopher Lambert is kind of my dude though. Man, I think maybe I did offend people because people are like logging out. Sorry, not sorry, man. Anyway. Yeah, there's Bolo. All right. And I really like this color is really nice to work with, at least airbrush wise. It builds really nicely. Let's work on Dolph Lundgren's blade here. He could also alternately he could be Guile. Oh shit, I should paint him like Guile. What do you think? Oh man. Damn this game for making me like painting it. Anyway. How dare it make me enjoy at least some aspects of backing this shady business deal we call a Kickstarter. Munching on chips. Yeah, man, you've been painting for like 5 hours. She needs a break. She needs some chips. Actually, I should spray his pants. I should have sprayed his pants green, but I can still go back and do that. Because this dude's, I'm just gonna paint Dolph Lundgren like Guile, so people can't tell if he's Guile or Dolph Lundgren. Because it's a good plan. Just finished getting a little more of this color down. All right, so he's gonna have, I guess he should have more of a like a brown color, I guess. Thank you for telling me what, here, maybe you can help me with another one real quick. Let me grab it real quick. You can help me decipher what it actually is saying. Let me clear out this color. I'm just going to show you guys the rest of the sculpts that came with this set. It's over here. This poor box has been sitting in my room in shame, just wallowing in Kickstarter purgatory. So you got Cynthia Rothrock, who isn't a great miniature. I don't know. I might do a head swap or something. It's okay. I can make that look like Cynthia Rothrock. But the pose is sweet. I love that. The pose is awesome. So you got Cynthia Rothrock. You got, I'm assuming this is Billy Blanks. I think it's Billy Blanks. But he's pretty awesome. He's, somebody thought he was Michael J. White. I was thinking of the guy from Expendables, played by Jason Statham, super good with knives. I could paint Billy Blanks like Jason Statham, but that would be wrong. And then you got Brandon Lee, who's actually a really cool sculpt. He's like in his cop outfit. But look at that. I mean, here, you can use this guy for Batman too. Like he can be a baton cop. Let me make sure that it's, well, it's not quite 30 mil. It's right there. It's maybe a millimeter off on the sides. So you got Brandon Lee, and then you got the main man. Oh, he didn't. I guess he didn't have a. He just has a yin yang. But that's pretty dope, Bruce Lee. Pretty dope, Bruce Lee. Anyway, but we're working on these dudes. What was I doing? I need a brown. I need like a chocolate brown. Yeah, let's do a chocolate brown. That's a good brown. So yeah, for those of you just tuning in, welcome to Play It Painted Live. Tonight we're working on Kung Fu miniatures from a company that shall not be named. Unless you guys are worried about like, hey, should I be on the lookout for projects from this company? Because like I said, this is not the most trustworthy company. Is it just not clearing, or oh, it's clearing. It's just clearing slowly. Kind of jelly that you have them. Well, You can go buy a copy of Dragon Tides from CQ, but again, I don't recommend it. I don't even know what they charge for a retail copy of this game, but I'm sure it's less than $100. All right, let's do this. So Jackie here, he'll have a brown outfit. Company that showed me. I'm telling you, it's so upsetting too because they have good ideas for games, and at least their 3D renders are pretty cool looking. I mean, it was enough to get me on board. And like, whoever came up with the idea for this game has an awesome idea. Is the game good? I don't know. Me and Dizzy are gonna find out because we're playing this. I'm gonna learn how to play this game. You're gonna play it with me, and then if you hate the game, it's my fault. But whatever. All right, so I think this is like the kind of the drunken kung fu outfit. For Jackie Chan here. Trying to get enough together to get Big Trouble in Little China. Oh my gosh, yes. I need to get that game too. Like, you don't understand. Like, I've almost patterned my whole life from Big Trouble in Little China. Like, it's really sad. Did you know that? Yeah, it is always my fault. It was pointed out to me. Here's how sad it is. It was pointed out to me that 80% of the women that I've dated in my life have had green eyes. And I can only think that it was, Big Trouble in Little China and me trying to appease Ching Dai. Why I would have done something like that. And I'm still, yeah, I don't know. My wife has green eyes. I don't know. She went through, because, she got nosy and wanted to go through like pictures of my exes and stuff. And she went through and saw a bunch of them. And she was like, how come all the women you've been with have had green eyes? Okay. They didn't know I was trying to appease Cheng Dai. But hey, Master, you are fresh. I don't know. Ew, this brown's not behaving so well. There it goes. Just had to clear. Ooh, that was really cleared. Give that, like the wooden style bases, a base coat. Okay. And then I'm gonna do like this jade coat. I'm glad you guys enjoyed that joke. Is it racist? Is it? You can tell me. It's fine. Well, did you tell your wife the previous girls were sacrificed? Did they, well, she doesn't know that I'm that she's a wielder of the burning blade. She doesn't know that. When we do the ceremony, she'll find out. Like, she'll figure it out. Yeah, man, I love that movie. It's just such a good movie. I should have gotten that. I should have pre-ordered the Big Trouble in Little China game. I have the Big Trouble in Little China version of Legendary that I have never played, but I bought it because like they deserve my money because they have this, and likewise with the board game, they clearly deserve my money. They came up with something I really like, so why not? still some colors I need to do here before we get down to the things. I do not have. This is like the bulk of my stream, guys, is me looking for my paints. You know that, right? I just sit here and go, where did that green go that I was looking for, that I always put in the same place but can never seem to find? Actually, it's more like a military green, so actually that green would be better, I think. And then this green and this green is good for Ip Man's base, right? We're doing this. Where's that deep green, though, for real? It's just gone. Oh, here it is. See? Okay. Let's do a little deep green on, well, first, let's see. My 2X ago had super green eyes. They're rare species, only 2.7% of the population. Yeah, something like that. They are pretty rare. You gotta, the Eyes of Jade, pretty funny. But yeah, I love that movie. So good. What is the game called? Okay, please don't buy it. Please don't buy this game. Like, don't give these people money. But the name of the game is Dragon Tides. Okay, if you really want to play the game, come visit me. We'll play the game together. Or wait for me to finish painting this, and then me and Dizzy are gonna play this on live stream. And then you can hear from her. She can tell you how bad this game is or whether or not she liked it. But we will just all agree not to buy the game. Or figure out some way to get the game so that this company does not get any of your money. Like, if you could if you could get the minis for the game and walk away and they don't get any of your money, then you won. Pretty good. Little green. I want the minis. Yes. Don't we all? Don't we all want for these companies to make a Kung Fu game that is cool? And you know what's actually a pretty good Kung Fu dice-based system is, I'm going to just come out and say, I think that Ninja All-Stars has at least the beginnings of what could be a really cool Kung Fu themed dice-based system where you have dice that cancel each other out and then results perform specific moves and that kind of thing. And you have clans that have, so what I'm saying is, instead of taking elements the way Ninja All-Stars did it, take like combat styles, right? So take like you could take like Aikido guys, right? And bootleg recasts. That's smart. But you could take like Aikido guys, right? Or judo guys, and they're all into throws and chops and that kind of thing. And so there's specific facings of this dice that they thrive at. If you roll certain number of judo dice, then they get to do their cool judo moves. And if you have kung fu dice, or you have kung fu specialists, maybe their specialties are more around punching. Maybe if you have taekwondo guys, their specialty lies more around kicks and that kind of thing. I mean, Ninja All-Stars has a really cool multifaceted system that could handle a complex thing like a martial artist fight. So maybe they reskin the game, and not this game, but maybe they take the basic engine of Ninja All-Stars and maybe from there produce an actually cool kung fu based game. Let's get a little some of this lighter green on Guile's pants here. Dun, 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 dun. Like that is some serious Sonic Boom shit right there. Like that guy, man. I don't know why I'm showing you guys this. I'm so conflicted. Like I don't want to. Man, whatever. By the way, did you guys, for those of you who are tuning in later and did not see where we were at with Emma Frost, here's Emma. She's looking okay. She needs a little more work, but I think I'm down the right path with her. She's starting to look the way I want her to look. So anyway, but I didn't want to do another stream of Emma Frost. I was like, You kind of saw me paint her one way, and then you saw me kind of moving the other direction with her the other night, and like we don't really need another stream like that. Nice abs. But yeah, she's starting to look the way I want. I don't know what I'm going to use her for. She'll just be like kind of a proxy that I use in lots of things. All right, let's do a little more blue here for Ip Man. Ip Man. Oh, thanks, Dizzy. Uh-oh. You know the most terrifying thing when you're trying to get paints out of a squeeze bottle is when you squeeze and it doesn't come out according to the pressure you put on there, and you're worried that the whole thing is just going to fire out. Sonic Boom. All the game till the timer runs out. Oh, bad memories against cheap players. Yeah, the Guile players would always fight from the fetal position, right? They would just crouch down in that corner and throw Sonic Boom at you, and then when you tried to jump at them, then they would sickle kick you. I had my own version of shitty play where I played Ryu and spammed Fireball, and when you tried to jump at me, I would do a Dragon Punch on you. But I think everybody kind of played, I don't know. We can start discussing like best Street Fighter character. Oh, did you see also that Comic Quest has they're doing a Street Fighter tournament this Saturday? And I suck at Street Fighter now, but man, I would love to I want to go check it out because I love me some Street Fighter. Look at this If Man. It's just so cool. So cool. Let's give Bolos a little bit of blue on his trunks. Bolos so rad. Oh no, it's not on the stand-up arcade. I think it's one of the newer Street Fighters. So I think they're gonna bring in a console or something, and people are gonna show up and play. And I'm just gonna be the old guy in the back and be like, I was playing this. That actually is that's a Street Fighter 2 World Champions one. which is actually kind of the second iteration of Street Fighter 2. The original Street Fighter 2 only had I believe it was the original 8 characters that you would play. But that one added Vega, Bison, Balrog, and Sagat. So hopefully people show. I know, or hopefully they don't, and I just win some shit. Like I just beat some poor 11-year-old kid at Street Fighter, and I'm like, bam! I won a Street Fighter tournament, and I shook up the world and all this. I gotta prepare. Does Game Master still have that PC cafe thing next door? They have Game Master has an arcade next door, and I guess Nelson played at that arcade yesterday. I'll show up to impress Amanda if she's working. She almost gave me a nosebleed when I saw her in a Catwoman costume. Oh man, I showed up. Yeah, I went to go pick up stuff for Mark, and she was there, and then a bunch of other people showed up, and I was trying to get out of the shop because it was like that, because Don and Kelly were asking me, when are we doing this and when are we doing this, and I'm like, dude, I got 2 kids, but yeah. And then a bunch of other ones showed up. I missed all the costumes. It was kind of a shame. I forget, one of the newer guys showed up and he had this Nightwing thing, and then Yvonne was Robin, I think. So Suck It Kid is the best. Just end zone dancing against some poor kid because you beat him in Street Fighter because you know how to semicircle fireball. You can you do a little crescent and do fireball and that's funny. Bison's my favorite. Here's a little bit of trivia that I wasn't aware of until about 5 or 6 years ago. That actually M. Bison was supposed to be Balrog's name, because M. Bison, it was supposed to be Mike Bison. So when you're looking at Balrog, and obviously that the Balrog character is based on Mike Tyson, you could see Japanese guys doing calling him Mike Bison. So it's they made him Mike Bison, but then they switched the names around so that they wouldn't get sued or anything like that. But that's amazing. So I still call Balrog Mike Bison. He's one of my favorite guys to play too in the game. Oh man, I love Street Fighter. When are they going to do that? When are they going to do a full Street Fighter miniatures game? Because that property is someone's just chomping at the bit trying to get that game. Oh man, you need to have. Oh, these are all dudes. So we're gonna do. Yeah, we're gonna do more of well, no, they're Asian dudes though, so we need kind of darker around the eyes. HeroClix tried. Oh, they did. Okay, so HeroClix tried to make a Street Fighter 2 miniatures game. How do you do such a complex game like that? I mean, you'd almost have to figure out almost live or real-time, combat resolution, right? Maybe it's card-based, and maybe it's based on, what you can string together in terms of combos of cards. And the other guy, the other guy has to put up his blocks, or he has to spend, he has to spend resources to adequately defend himself, but then he can turn around like with whatever he's got left, turn around and try to counterattack you. Or if he combo breakers at some point during that, then he can combo breaker you. Whoa, buddy. Okay. I don't know. There's a number of cool ways you could, I guess, approach. Oh, Albert's out. Have a good night, dude. Thanks for tuning in. We need to get Albert down here to OC and play some games with us, and then we get Sean to drive up from SD. We'd just do that and just do like a Batman day or something. Get all these guys playing Batman. Be pretty nice. Way of the Fighter is Street Fighter. Technically, yes. I mean, that's what they were going for. Because they even have like the Dalsim looking character. And then they have like more of the generic style fighters, like the guy with like the sporty cap, the sporty fighter, and then they have the tough schoolgirl character who's like a Sakura character. So yeah, they got obviously that is a huge influence on that game. Dang, look at Bolo. Do they have the new? I don't know. I honestly I haven't really been paying attention to rules updates or anything like that with Way of the Fighter. I'm just like, where are my minis? Where are my minis? Where are my minis? That's all I read the updates every week, and I'm like, I hear no mention of minis, therefore I don't care. Because the game is going to ship, and not having the minis is not really gonna rival high. Wait. Do you mean rival high or rival schools? Because that was a dope ass game. If you played rival schools for what was that, PS2? Or actually, you could even, I think they had rival schools for PlayStation, like the original. Loved rival schools. Holy crap, that was like one of my favorite games of all time. Love that game. And all the really cool characters on rival schools, and the all the voices were just amazing. Like, who are some of your favorite characters from rival schools? There's a guy with the stick. He was awesome. There's like the like America chick, and she had like the boxing gloves on and the giant breastises, and then they had then you had like the emo guy with like his back to you the whole time. I really like the like chiropractic nurse chick that would like crack your back and stuff when she's fighting you. That game was freaking awesome. Love rival schools. Anyway, I don't even know what we're just painting into the night and talking things. All right, let's get some eyeballs done. Maybe try to get some of the skin done. And then honestly, at that point, these models are pretty far along. If we get that far, let's see. Let's see what we do. That excuse. I just like that. I remember that opening, the opening thing. Excuse, and it's like just the most English thing you've ever heard in your life, and I just loved that game. It's so cool. And like when you played the story modes were so deep. I mean, that was like Game of Thrones with Japanese high schools, man. They had all the different high schools and the different cliques. And different teachers. The teachers had their own factions and stuff. Like, man, that game was deep. We didn't know how good it was. We didn't know how good we had it when Rival Schools was out. Oh man, I did not. Dolph Lundgren kind of has a bum eye here. Let's before I do the other side, let's make sure we get the whole orbit here. But yeah, Rival Schools was the jam. Loved Rival Schools. Remember the dude with the used Shoma, Natsu Sakura, and Roberto. Dang, you even remember your teams, man. I don't even remember the names of the people um, that I would put on my team. But I really liked that. Yeah, I really liked like the guy who's supposed to be the nerdy guy, but he was like more of an emo guy. And then I also liked like I was saying, like I don't know if she was a nurse or a psychologist or what, but she would crack your back and stuff. Like she would give you like a full-on chiropractic adjustment while she was fighting you. She was super cool. Also, really liked. I liked the guy with the stick. There's that girl who had that one move that was like "Ikoneko-san." Like I really liked. It was like a triple spinning kick. Kyoko. Yeah, that was the nurse. It's funny. You recall Rival Schools more than I do. That makes you a bigger Rival School fan than I am, and I bow to your superiority, sir, in this area. Because Rival Schools was dope. Now, if Comic Quest was having a Rival Schools tournament, I would rock the shit out of that. I don't know if I would. It doesn't really matter. I don't know. Um, yeah, yeah. Rival Schools was dope. But yeah, would be cool to have some of just definitely some more like kung fu martial arts properties in miniature gaming. And I think there's enough really good game design out there that could actually make fighting really kind of feel dynamic in a miniatures game or a board game. I loved it when it was in Japan when it came to the US. Never got to buy it when it was here. I played it with a lot of friends though. Yeah, that was like one of my favorite games of all time. Love Rival Schools. I just can't. I'm just so impressed. Like I did not know that there was a bigger fan of Rival Schools out there than me. That's so awesome. But if you think about all the terrain that we have for Batman, we have modern terrain. We have a bunch of thugs, a bunch of gangs. Like it's perfect for us to play Fistful of Kung Fu at this juncture. Like that's a good decision. We can totally rock that. Let's fix Guile's other eye here. You can call him Dolph if you want, but I'm calling him Guile now. Like imagine if this was not a shady company and these properties got picked up by a legitimate miniature gaming company. Bruce Lee Mini reminded me of the statue on LA Chinatown when she was still alive. Bruce Lee he was pretty dope, man. I love my Bruce Lee. I love as far as modern living legends. I don't know if you guys know this, but if you guys ever watched Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon, starring Timok as Bruce Leroy, like Bruce Leroy is I I call him my best friend. Like he doesn't know it yet, but we're best friends. Um, I used to go visit him when he used to do an autograph booth at Comic-Con, and every year at Comic-Con, that was like the one celebrity I wanted to see the most was Timok. So I would get in line to go see Timok to get his autograph, and he's the only. It would only be three of us in line. you know, everybody else would be in line to go see the latest celebrity superheroes or anybody whoever was on Lost that year or anything like that, right? I went to go see Timok. I wanted to go see Bruce Leroy, ask him how he's doing, introduce him to my family. These are all true things that I did. Like he, it got to the point where it was like a yearly thing. He knew I was going to come see him. Like, oh yeah, it's you again. And and I've got like several autographed posters here in the game room from Bruce Leroy. And he's actually like a really really cool game, a cool dude. Like he's really nice. But yeah, I got a bunch of pictures with like him and my wife and my firstborn. When he was born, I was like, "Hey man, I had a kid," and he's like, "Oh, I want to meet your kid," and all this stuff. I wonder how much it would cost to buy out this company that makes this game. You don't have to, because they're hiding in a jungle in Colombia somewhere with like a pile of cocaine in front of them or something. Like I'm all but convinced that they're doing that. Like trying to figure out what their next Kickstarter game is, so that they can buy another pile of cocaine and hide out in the jungle. God, I love the Ip Man. Check him out. Ip Man is so dope. Nowadays, I look at him and I'm like, I'm one with the Force, and the Force is with me. Like this. That's all I can think of with Ip Man. But don't get me started on Star Wars. You know how that ends, right? You know how it ends when we start talking about Star Wars. It's just not a good time. But anyway, um, yeah, just had the little bit of extra black here, so I might as well frame his face. Okay. All right, so now let's start base coating these guys. Okay, so you downloaded the second edition Rules to Batman. Cool. Cool. Hope you you got to try it out, man, because it's good stuff. Second edition Batman. I don't know. What do you think, Nelson? I liked it. I liked second edition Batman. I think it's a nice, slick game now. Um, I'm still really worried about that Poison Ivy shit, but overall, I'm pretty happy. And I need to get, I'm worried about the state of my Wonderland crew. But other than that, I'm, pretty good. Doing all right. Okay, so let's get some base coats down. So I need like, I want to do like sunny skin tones for the Asian miniatures. So I can do bronzed skin. I also have sunny skin tone somewhere here. Let's find some of these. You also have dark flesh. That's not bad. Not basic skin tone. I want sunny skin tone. Medium flesh tone. That's pretty good. That's not bad. Yeah, where's my sunny skin tone? Not quite elf skin tone. Or cadmium skin. Not quite that. I'll pull this. Actually, that would be a good undercoat. So let's pull that. That would also. It's a little too. This bronze flesh is probably a little too yellow. Cannot find the sunny skin tone. Here it is. Sunny skin tone. Okay, so we're going to go sunny skin tone. We're going to do light brown, sunny skin tone, or medium flesh tone. Night models, yeah, I agree. They do need to make the Royal Flush Gang. That would be pretty awesome. All right, so we're going to do this light brown color as the base coat for the skin for the Asian guys. And Bolo here has the most skin, so I'm going to paint Bolo. Bolo's skin actually, it doesn't look too bad. So I may, instead of doing like a full paint job, I may actually just thin this down quite a bit and just use it more like almost more like a wash. I do need it working at full opacity here on the face though, because of the eyes and the hair. Loving it, especially nerfing Batclaw, spamming players with few issues I found already. Sewer rule changed a lot, and the idea of it doesn't make any sense to me. I ended up really liking the new sewer rules because it just kept the game moving, flowing a little better, and hopping in the sewers becomes a known risk. It becomes a risk to both players, but still, like there's still wise choices to be made regarding when to hop into the sewers. Like the last game that I streamed here when I was playing against Mark, and I couldn't kill anybody because he kept making his endurance rolls. There was a point in the game where I had to basically bitch out and hide, and you can't hide in the sewers. But what I did was I popped through the sewer and pulled Mark to the far side of the board. And that ended up working out really well in my favor because it pulled him away from his objective long enough for me to overtake him in scoring and then eventually, win the game. Now let's just do a full. I was going to try to do something a little cuter with this and maybe use this as more of a wash, but regarding skin, this will be better. Yeah, you declare the sewer immediately and you place the model there. So see, it's a huge risk because you go, when you go into the sewer, you spend your movement and your special, and then you immediately place the model at another sewer and then end his turn. So if you do that and then just pop out in the middle of your opponent's gang, you just made a really, really poor decision. So, but using the sewers to escape or picking an opportune moment to hit another sewer to put you in really good position the following turn is kind of where how you play sewers out this in this new rule set. So you put your sewers where and you use them either as escape routes or you use them as a means to try to get at the opponent towards their deployment zone and maybe get you into position to start scoring off objectives. It's a really neat little tactical tool, even though I would agree that it's a little weird that you pop out of a sewer exactly when you enter one other sewer. So this make Killer Croc a lot deadlier in a sense because it gives him, I believe it just gives him the ability to deploy at the start of a game pretty much off of any sewer. And then he has obviously you get supreme mobility with him, and he doesn't count towards the maximum number of models that you can have in a sewer. So yeah, it definitely, in my opinion, it buffs Killer Croc. But I don't know that it breaks him. I don't know that I wouldn't say it does. Bolo is so cool. I should have given him red trunks, but that's okay. Just such a cool miniature. So I may actually even use like sepia tones to wash these Asian minis. And I like dealing with a lot of different ethnicities when I'm painting because it's really cool to kind of figure out how to get their color schemes when you just don't have all that much experience painting them, right? You don't get to do a whole lot of Asian dudes painting miniatures. Um, so when you discover, oh, that's how I do Asian flesh, then it becomes kind of a big deal. It's kind of awesome. Ip Man is going to be a lot paler than Bolo, but I'll still use this color to kind of frame where everything goes on this character. You guys have any questions or comments for me? I know it got quiet. I think it's starting to get really late. People are tired. That giant mold line there. You can't do a whole lot about the mold lines too on this plastic. I mean, well, that's not true. I could clean up the mold. I could have done a much better job cleaning up the mold lines. But I just kind of popped them out here like last second. And I'm like, well, you know, might as well paint them now. Whoa. Much deadlier if you time it right. Yeah. I think Tekken would be a great miniature game. Can you imagine me trying to paint Yoshimitsu? How freaking cool would that be? I love that this says uh, tiger on the base because my Chinese zodiac sign is tiger, so I love that. Not that I'm really into zodiac or astrology or anything like that. I like the Chinese astrology because they're based on animals and it's just cooler to me for some reason. I mean, Gemini is cool. It's a cool thing. Let's see. I wouldn't be surprised if someone makes that in the near future since all these video games are now being made to board games. Still working on base coating my figure, prepping her so I can actually get to something a little more productive tomorrow. I don't know. I thought you were pretty productive tonight considering you had to shut the airbrush off early. I mean, I was like, man, if that was me, I would have been like, good night, everybody. I would have just been like, me, can't use my airbrush for this? Good night, everybody. Some I forgot that I didn't even like dot this dude's eyes. Oh yeah, you're a tiger, and Dizzy's a rooster. That's awesome. That's a cool Chinese zodiac. Rooster? Just insert Sean Connery joke there. I'm the cock of the walk. Yeah, rooster's awesome. Well, let's see. Um, my wife is a dragon, which makes sense, and then my my oldest son is a snake, and then the little guy, he's a monkey. But tiger is really cool. Tigers are kind of fiercely independent, kind of loners. I'm just like, again, I don't actually believe this stuff, so it's okay. It's just whenever you have like personality tests or anything like that, you like the parts that sort of jive with you. It doesn't mean that they're right. It just means like they said something cool and you're like, yeah, I agree with that. You could be totally wrong. Like maybe you have no self-awareness and it's like, oh, well, tigers are really independent and I like that. Maybe I'm really independent too, but maybe my friends would be like, bullshit, you're not. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that they're right. It just means it's like any kind of personality test that you take. Oh my gosh, those Facebook personality tests. Um, I love them and hate them at the same time. So people are like, what Game of Thrones character are you? And I'm just gonna be super mean here. Like you see all the girls on the feed, like I got Daenerys. I'm Khaleesi. And you get some of the guys get like, oh, I got Jon Snow, man. I'm so cool. I'm just like Jon Snow. Oh yeah. And you get those guys. And when you get the guys that get hilarious results, it's better. I rather see like that kind of stuff posted. I want to see like a dude um, do a Game of Thrones. What character Game of Thrones you are, and then they come back and they get like varies. You know, girls born in dragon years are sometimes called phoenix. Interesting. I always thought that the dragon phoenix dichotomy, that the dragon was the female and the phoenix was the male, but I guess it's the other way. Don't know. But yeah, I'm clowning the people that post their like Game of Thrones personality. I got, but yeah, if you got back, like you were like, I got Theon Greyjoy for your like your Game of Thrones personality. Would you post it? I don't know. I probably wouldn't. Super funny. My running joke is I want to post uh, results from personality quizzes, and I always want to be Donnie from The Big Lebowski. Like I should. That's kind of my joke. Like when my wife used to post those, she'd be like, "I got this on this quiz," and I would reply back, and I was like, "I always get Donnie," and I would just put up a picture of Donnie from from Big Lebowski. And some people would get it. Other people was like, "Whoa, that you could really get Donnie on that quiz?" You're like, "No, dude, you're missing the point." Speaking which, I do have Big Lebowski miniatures, which are super cool. So I'm just cutting around stuff here. Actually, I just paint the whole hand this color for now. So I'm a barbarian because you got Khal Drogo. I don't even know. I don't know what character, Game of Thrones character I would get or whatever. I probably get something awful. They're like, "You are Walter Frey." I'm like, "Damn it!" I told these people what I like for breakfast, and they came back and told me I was Walter Frey. I'm one of those people that didn't get Big Lebowski, just didn't see what was good about it. Raising Arizona, on the other hand, was well. The thing about the Big Lebowski is it is a it is a running joking commentary on the state of like the Los Angeles, LA hipster, not hipster, but LA hippies, like former hippies and that kind of thing. So it's a lot of like regional type thing. Um, I mean, it had nihilists in it, which I thought was hilarious. It had um, the dude was like, it, like I know people like the dude. Like you just kind of have those like absolutely permanently slacking people, and you're like, damn, how come I can't live like that? And you're like, but I have needs. I got to have a job and got to take care of my kids, and I need to have kids and all this other stuff. Oh, hey, we should play Zombicide together at GM. Get Glenn, Irene, Joanna in it too, and then play Trader Mode when you can push other zombies. That's awesome. Oh, Joanna moved, so no more Joanna at Game Master. Kind of a bummer because she was our. We were she was supposed to be the Batman staff that kind of taught people how to play Batman. But yeah, I guess that we're gonna have to we'll have to teach Irene how to play or something. Have her, she can take over. Sure, she'd love that. But I honestly, I'm not really sure how serious they are about pushing Batman there. I'm always kind of curious. Like, are they really serious about keeping? They're really a card shop. Like, would they really want to keep Batman stock there just because a few of us play it? And even if they did have um, a community of players, um, like realistically, how are they going to? How does it even make sense to push that game when Magic and even board games are more of their like bread and butter? So I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. Yeah, that's why she was sad. Yeah. See, I don't think they're that serious. Yeah, me either. I think I don't think Game Master is that serious about pushing Batman there. It just it doesn't make sense. They should push. Obviously they push Magic a lot. They push D&D a lot. They'll make they get more traffic around those things. Um, I really don't know what they don't get really much from us. So I don't really know what. Man, that thing's really bugging me. I could fill it, but let's fill it. Let's fill it. That's gonna bug me. Um, Comic Quest, on the other hand, those guys are they're like desperate to have us back there because it's like, please come back, please. Don was like, the last weekend, he's like, look, we're a comic book store, and you guys play Batman. Like, you guys, we need to. That needs to be a thing. And I told them when the Batman game first came out, hey guys, you guys are a comic book store. There's a Batman game. That needs to be a thing. But yeah, it does make more sense for Comic Quest to be pushing Batman. They have all the product there too, so they should totally be pushing Batman. Oh, this is so upsetting. There's Dolph Lundgren afflicted so. We just used a bunch of this filling stupid slot bases. I had a rant semi-planned. Oh man, super late. It's okay. I had a rant semi-planned. I was gonna go attack an argument about fantasy, fantasy settings and stuff. When that that rebuttal we all hear when you're complaining about a lack of realism or whatever. If there are plot points or whatever that don't make sense, and they and some person walks into that argument, and it's like, oh, this is a show that has dragons, and you want realism, meh. Dumbest argument ever, but hey, whatever. The timing's horrible because they close at 10 p.m. Yeah, I hear you. They close at 10 p.m. They want, you know, they want Batman and Guild Ball on Tuesday nights, and I simply cannot do Tuesday nights. So, but then again, my counter to them is like, look, I'm not the only gig in town. Like we can get more people around these games to run them on the nights that you want them run. Then cool. But let's see. Sorry, I'm doing a little bit of impromptu work on Guile here, just because that gap is just gigantic, and I'm worried that this is going to shrink down. We're not going to have anything. Ooh, yeah, I gotta see. There's even right now. There's a hole still there. That was huge. Like the biggest. That is the single biggest gap I've ever seen on a quote-unquote one-piece miniature. We know they're not one piece though. They're just pre-assembled. Like they're the molds are multi-part mold, but they're assembled afterwards and then sent out. Dolph Lundgren's gonna have to wait. Well, we got the start of some skin going on these guys. Let me do one more color on the Asian skin and then we'll call it. And then we'll work on this some more this week. This will be a fun little ooh, man, that's terrible. This is not mixed. There we go. That's more like it, but I'll do it over here. We'll do this on Mr. Bolo here. That's where they stashed the cocaine. That was good. I like it when people are quick and they can keep up with the references like that. That's awesome. It's really stashed. I love that. Whoop. Oh man, that is chalky. That's not flowing out so well. Hold on. Let's add a little. Flow improver to that sunny skin tone. In fact, and I'm gonna add a little bit of glaze medium to it too, because that's just weird. Whoa. But yeah, Mr. Bolo here. So much character on this particular sculpt. And you see how chalky that's coming in. I guess I'm gonna have to fix that with a wash of some sort. And I'm gonna have to do that anyway, just because of how textured this whole entire sculpt is. I don't think I have any meetings tomorrow, do I? Alexa, what are my meetings tomorrow? Okay, not too bad. All right. That's quite a color jump, though. But it's okay. Like I said, we can. We're gonna fix that with a wash. Probably should have used the medium flesh tone in between. So lesson learned. I'll do that on. Actually, yeah, I'll do that on the other minis here. On Bolo here, um, I'll wash him with a sepia tone after building this up, and it should actually take these a lot closer together, because that's a little too much of a jump. It's the right endpoint, sort of, for the Asian skin, sort of the right endpoint. It's just with the light brown behind it, it just looks a little ridiculous right now. Like what? It's like screaming at me. So I think this sunny skin tone will calm down a little bit, but again, we'll wash it and make it blend better, because that's looking kind of weird. Looking kind of weird, and I don't want to blow it with all this really cool muscle tone here. Like this isn't quite the right base tone. The medium skin is actually probably going to work out much better, and we'll find that out working on the next minis. Let me just give myself a little bit more definition towards the top of the minis, so that even after you wash it, still maintains good highlights, right? This mini is super cool. Love Bolo. I don't know. Maybe I just use these guys for a bunch of other games, right? Like anything other than Dragon Tides. But if Dragon Tides is fun, we'll play it. We'll totally play it. I just don't know if it's fun. Okay, let's do medium skin. And that actually looks more like the coat that we want. Okay, let's do that on Mr. Ip Man here. Ooh, man. Boop, 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 boop. It got so quiet. Everyone fall asleep or still busy painting, or what's going on? Yeah, that is the correct skin tone. It's this medium skin tone. It's got a little bit of a warm glow to it, which is nice. That's what you want. And then with that final color, you'll be able to get the highlight that you want from it. Still painting, just reading the rules. I'm playing Titan Quest and eating chili noodles. That sounds good. Sounds like a good life right now, Canvas. Yeah, this weekend coming up is gonna be super bad for me getting any gaming in because it's my boys' birthdays. But I'm gonna try to be available Thursday, and it depends. You know, if we have all this prep to do for the party, then this week might not be a good week for gaming. But it seems like that's been like kind of the theme. Like it's every week has been something a little more difficult. That does not look right, man. No, I'm still not convinced. Blade Wolf, the Grimm twins got a buff as well, but when I played them back to back, activation is better than the new rule. Interesting. Yeah, here's what we're going to use: tanned highlight. Or we can use bronze skin. Let's use bronze skin. Right? Probably better than tanned highlight. That looks like the same color. Never mind. Well, hold on. That does look like medium flesh tone, but let's see. Let's try it out on Bolo here. Is it the right color? Yeah, it's actually not a bad color. Okay. I'll use it then. It's better than whatever that weird sunny skin tone is. Looks like that sunny skin tone would probably be a better tone for like I don't know, leather, straps, that kind of stuff. Probably better tone for that. So I'm just gonna use this bronze skin and do like an 80% base coat there. Speaking of which, I still have to paint that other Suicide Squad box that I picked up. But if I crack down on that, it'll take me about a week to do. I honestly should have been working on that instead of this, but I needed a little bit of a break from night models. So it is what it is. And I need to, so I guess the final highlight on this will be tanned highlight. And then we'll wash it. Yeah, let's do a little tanned highlight. After it's all painted, you should sell it to Jonathan. Why would Jonathan buy it? Where's tanned highlight? I'm not getting the connection. What does Jonathan, what would Jonathan want with, oh, you're talking about Suicide Squad. Oh, yeah, yeah. I don't think he'd be willing to pay for it though, right? He wants to pay retail essentially and have a painted Suicide Squad, and like that's not a thing. Like I don't think anyone would be willing to do that. Okay, so now I'm doing tanned highlight. So this is going to make the characters look a little more like a little more Caucasian, but we're going to fix that too. I just want it because I want some of that. I want some of the gray of this color to balance out like the stronger yellow tones that I put in the undercoats. I just want it to balance out a little bit, and then we'll fix it all. Yeah, ask if he's willing to pay $350 for it. I don't think so, man. Uh, I I would actually just ask 300 for it, not 350. Okay. Maybe this guy is supposed to be Ip Man because he looks a little more like Ip Man than the other guy. But the other guy, for whatever reason, his pose and his energy reminds me of Ip Man. But this guy could easily, just as easily, pose as Ip Man or pass for Ip Man. So we're going to do all these, and then we're going to wash these around the same time. Okay, there we go. Let's paint. Is that dry yet? That may not be dry enough to paint. May not be. Just let it. Okay. Actually, we might as well do the tanned highlight on Mr. Dolph Lundgren too. Who must break you? But it's going to look a lot more like Caucasian skin with Dolph here. So he's going to get a lot more of it, and it's over heavy skin tone, which is more of a gray tone versus a yellow tone for skin. And that's the main point with like the Asian skin is you you switch over to a palette that's got a little more yellow to it. One question I do have in battle reports, I've seen people put their dice onto their cards, so is what I can assume is counters. Yeah, we do that as well. That's a nice way to. It was a little more relevant in the first edition of the game because when you put dice down for movement counters, then when it was time for that model to activate and you wanted to move, you just pick up the dice from your card and say, okay, I'm gonna bolster my move by this much, and then you roll the dice. Because they've moved to a set number in the movement phase when you spend a counter, that's no longer necessary. Still good to have for stuff like combat rolls. Like when you put 4 into combat, well, you get those 4 dice sitting there so that when that model activates and that model's going to make an attack, well, you're ready to go there. Okay. So now we're going to use a couple of different washes. I'm going to use a sepia tone on the Asian models, and then I'm going to use like a flesh tone, a Reichland flesh tone on the on Guile there. That is, if I can find my sepia tone, because I'm bad at everything, like keeping my washes in order. It must be up here, although I couldn't tell you the last time I used sepia tone. I almost never use it. I mean, I could use the Reichland flesh. It's probably okay. I could probably just do that. I believe you can no longer bolster. Well, it takes the place. You spend the movement counter. It's not called bolstering, I guess. It's you just spend the movement counter, and then you get whatever. Whatever specified, like the 2 inches. Now you just get it. It's not really bolstering movement. You just spend it all when you take your movement. Okay, that looks pretty good. Maybe a little heavy on Bolo, but that's okay. I mean, he is like this totally ripped out dude. As long as you don't exceed the character's number on the attributes. Right. So if you have a movement of 3, the max you can put on there is 3 movement counters or dice. So once you spend those dice, you're out of movement counters for the turn. So that's where the planning of the game comes into effect. So we're going to apply this and just kind of let it do its thing overnight. And we'll check it out tomorrow. Gotta be careful though. I'm going to remove some of this wash. It's just pooling. And that's what you don't want it to do. It's nice that it will get into the crevices and stuff, but you should not have like large pooled areas of it on the model, because that will look absolutely awful if it dries that way. Part of the reason why I don't really use washes anymore is they can be tough to control. Whereas if you took an ink, oh, you meant you can no longer run, right. Whereas, if you took an ink and thinned it with glaze medium, you'll have plenty of open time. Like you won't have to worry about you won't have to worry as much about stuff suddenly drying on you and then leaving a ring of wash. That is the worst. You know, when you have wash dry on you and it just leaves that ring on the surface of the model and you're like, oh crap, I gotta paint it over. It's interesting. I hated the Citadel glazes and shades that were semi-gloss and sheen. Now I think they're cool. Now I think the gloss and the semi-gloss sheens are cool. You know, after having used them a bit, I like that little bit of added sheen gives you just helps keep the skin tones, the texture of the skins smooth, and it just gives you a little more room for error essentially. Guy has a crazy brow. Okay. Yeah, I just don't know if that was really that worth it to do this. But it's okay. We'll just let it dry and we'll figure it out tomorrow. So I am exhausted. It's making this guy look better already. The defender actually has a chance to defend. Yes, defender can have tokens allocated to their defense, which would protect them against melee attacks. However, against ranged attacks, you need to be able to rely on dodges if you have an acrobatic character, a character with the acrobat attribute. You're relying on things like dodges. If you don't have acrobat, then you're relying on things like pings and armor to save you, like bat armor or bulletproof vest, that kind of thing. So I hope that helped. Okay. All right. So I know they look way too dark right now, but I'm going to let those washes dry, and then tomorrow we'll pick up again, and I'll probably finish them. I'll finish these four tomorrow, and then I'll start up the others. So anyway, yeah, here's where we're at so far. You can see they don't look great right now because of the washes still drying on them, but they'll look better. We're going to come back and highlight the skin and that kind of thing. They should look pretty good. Okay, so anyways, it's super late at night. Holy crap. That's going to do it for this video. Thanks everybody for tuning in. If Dizzy's going to stream again, you might go switch, pull up a tab or something and watch her because she's pretty nonstop as well. she's gangster. Anyway, you guys have a good night. Catch you on the next one.